Welcome to Power User with Crash Long Johnson. That's me. So we're in our final part of our 4-part series for the CAT2 MS Form SharePoint List Auto Power Automate Combo solution. In this video, we're actually going to look at a group form and how to handle that. Now, the nice thing is what you've learned so far, basically it's the same kind of format, except there is a couple different differences. One is where the actual file is located at to be able to delete it out. And then basically maybe happen to figure out how to actually find the actual form ID. So because sometimes when you're looking for the MS form that you're wanting to get the information from, for group forms, it tends not to be in your drop-down list, so you have to actually go put in the ID of the form. So with that said, let's get started and jump over to the computer. Now that we're at the computer, I want to first, before I get into the nitty-gritty about just the differences in the Power Automate, let's first just go back and really look at the MS forms, because now we're talking about an MS form group form. We want to make sure that everybody understands what that means and where that is. So right now, you'll see that we're at the MS Forms portal. So again, from the Office 365 portal, you can select the 6 little dots, go to MS Forms, it'll open up the portal for MS Forms. And from here, you'll see your recent pin shared with me, and down below, my group forms. In this case, we're going to be using the Crash Long John's team. And so if I go ahead and click on that, it'll open up the Crash Long John's team, that you're a member of that group and that you actually have ability to do things with that group. And in this case, I've already created the outdoor activity group form, but what you would do is just hit new group form and create your form, and that creates you a group form. Now let's go ahead and get this opened up. So we're going to go ahead and have this ready, because we'll need it here to be able to point out a few things that you need from this particular form URL and everything. So let's go ahead and now jump into the Automate. So again, this is just an automated Automate. So you select, and at this point, we're at the same spot where when a new response is submitted, you're going to pick the form ID. And when you expand this out, you're going to see that you have different possible Power Automate, or not Power Automates, excuse me, MS forms that you're able to select from. However, in this case, I don't see the actual form after, which is Outdoor Activity Group. And we got the outdoor activity, but I don't see the group one. Sometimes this takes place where you might actually not see the form that you're after. Well, you need to do enter custom value, and this is after the form ID. Now, this even might happen for those that you create yourself, and you're like, hey, I can't find my MS form I created. I need the form ID. Let me show you how to do that. So we're going to go back. Here is our MS form. It's in edit mode. If you look at the URL, you'll see up here the form ID equals. You're pretty much after everything after the equal sign. We're going to go ahead and copy that. And now we're going to go back over here and we're going to paste that in to our form ID. That's all you need to do. Now we're going to go new step. We're going to get response details. And again, for our MS form action, we're going to again do the enter custom value if it's not in your drop down. We're going to paste that form ID in again. Our response ID is just going to be response ID when a new response is submitted. And we're going to do a new step. And this is where we're going to do a compose. And our input is going to be the attachment piece that we want. So add a photo of your recent adventure activity. And we're going to go ahead and save that. The reason that we're doing this is we're going to go ahead and test this. We're going to do manual. We're going to test. We're going to go over to our MS form. We're going to do a preview so we can run this. We're going to do bike, upload a file. We're going to grab a file, wait for this to load. Once it loads, we'll then submit it. There it goes, submit. And that's done. So if we go back to our Automate, we'll see that it ran successfully. And now that we want to go ahead and grab this inputs again. So we're going to go ahead and copy that. We're going to edit our automate now. And we're going to go ahead and do new step. And we're going to do create item. And we're going to create item SharePoint action. And we're going to get our site address. In this case, I'm going to do Crash Long Johns. The list name, I'm going to go ahead and do the MS Form to SharePoint combo. For our title, we're going to get the responder's email for get response details. And then the recent activity value, we're going to do enter custom value. And we're going to go down here and get what was your most recent outdoor activity. Now we're going to do our new step. We're going to go ahead and do a condition. Our condition is going to be our down here in our form, get response details. And we're going to do when add a photo of your recent activity adventure is not equal to blank. We're going to do add an action. We're going to do parse JSON under our yes, our content that we're after is going to be get response details when add a photo of your recent adventure. We're going to generate from sample. We're going to go ahead and paste in our input. I'm going to do done. There we go. We have that. Now what's going to take place? We're going to do add an action. In here, we're going to get file content using path. There's get file content using path. We're going to get our site address, which is going to be our Crash Long Johns team. And now this is where the difference is going to be in the file path. So let's look at what our file path and where that's actually being stored. So we actually need to go to the SharePoint site of the team. So we have our Crash Long Johns team. Where you're going to go is you're going to go into Documents. You're going to go into Apps, Microsoft Forms, the file folder of the name of your form, in this case, Outdoor Activity Group. Then the file folder for the name of the question, which in this case, add a photo of your recent activity. And there you see that we got the attachment. Again, that was from what we did 3 minutes ago in this video. But what we need is we need all this piece right here, the apps, Microsoft Forms, Outdoor Activity Group, add a photo of your recent adventure. So what that looks like is we're going to go into File Path. We're going to do / shared documents / apps / Microsoft Forms / outdoor activity group / add a photo of your recent activity. And then after that, we're going to do the parse JSON and we're going to do name. So that one's taken care of. Next, we're going to do add an action. We're going to do add attachment. It's going to be the SharePoint action, add attachment. And here we're going to do our site address. This is going to be Crash Long Johns. And our list name is going to be the MS Form combo. ID, we're going to do create item ID. And then next, we're going to do our file name, which is going to be our parse JSON name. And then our file content is going to be our, make sure which one we need here is going to be our file content, get file content using path. Let's see, let's double check, make sure I got that correct. Yep, all right. So we got our add attachment. We got everything that we're looking for. All right. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to add an action. We're going to get file properties only, SharePoint action. We're going to get our Crash Long John's team. We're going to get our library, which is going to be documents. Our limit entries to folder. This is again where we're going to do our outdoor activities. So we can always go back up here to our apply to each, get file content. We'll go ahead and just copy this right here. And we'll go down here and we'll paste this in. And then nothing for nested. So we're good there. And then last, we're going to add an action. And this one, we're going to do delete file. And this one is going to be delete files for SharePoint action. We're going to get our site address, which is going to be the Crash Long John's team. And for file identifier, we are going to utilize the identifier for the apply to each. We're going to find our identifier. Might help if I just narrow this down. So we got identifier, get file properties. And that would be our get file properties. All right. So we can go ahead and save this. Also, we can go ahead and get rid of the compose. We already got what we needed from it, so we can remove this also from the automate. And we'll resave. All right, so let's go ahead and test everything. So we're going to do a manual test. Let's go to our, we're going to submit another response, bike, upload a file, and open that. Wait for it to get loaded into our automate or into our MS form, so that way we can submit it. Submitted that. All right, go check our automate out. Our automate is running. Running through, everything says successful. So let's go look at a couple different things here. So we got our MS form. We got our, I'm going to refresh here. So we don't have any attachments no longer in our document library area. That's good. And then if we go to our MS form combo and refresh, there is our one submission with our attachment. So it is doing exactly what it should be doing. So there you go. Those are the few differences that there is that you have to possibly get the file ID of the form to be able to do the when a new response is submitted, get response details, and then also where to actually find that file path that you need to put in for the getting the attachment and deleting the attachment. So again, what it does is it grabs the attachment from the MS form submission that is been saved in the document library on the group team, group SharePoint document library, and then basically copying that over to a SharePoint list and then removing it from the document library that's on the team site. This again just allows to keep where everything is just stored in one place and you don't have to worry about it being stored in multiple areas. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And thank you for stopping by. Until next time, keep learning.